Hi. I love you too, Valentina. We trying. We trying. I'm gonna pray first. Jesus, we thank you for this day. God, whatever is the next move, Jesus, we just thank you for guiding our steps, keeping us safe, and camping your angels around us. We know that the weapon will be formed, God, but we know no weapon formed against us shall prosper. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Hey, Adriana. It's about to break soon. I pray so. Y'all feel that swing for the nation? You guys feel that? That coming for for everybody. It's not just for survivors. It's not just about trafficking. It's coming for everybody. If you don't feel like you in this fight too, then you don't get it. Hey, Laura. Lori. Sorry. I need to just spit something out, so I'm going to turn the comments off, and then I will try to turn them back on. But if y'all can screen record for me, I'd appreciate that. I think y'all would appreciate the heads up. So, thank you for sharing it, because it's the right thing to do, not trying to money grab or anything else like that for content. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Few things. The media is Hollywood. Do y'all remember? I'm gonna turn the comments back on for this part. Sorry. Hold on. Going back. Do y'all remember when we asked you guys to write letters to the news stations, your local news, known news stations, known truth tellers? There's a lot of new people, but the people who have been here, do some of y'all remember that? If you were here for that, wrote letters to everyone. Some people were blocked. Some people didn't get a response. Some people weren't getting the response that they were looking for. God is 777. You remember that? I posted some in my story the other night from around that time, but we wrote everybody. Yes, I remember. Yes, cool. So it wasn't about me. There was some, because I had an interview with, I think that was RSBN Memorial Day, and some people were like, hey, let's try to write Mike from RSBN so they could get his attention again. There was no response. People tried writing Newsmax. People tried writing so many different journalists to get their attention for the children in their neighborhood. The entire point of this video is the children. The focus should be the children. When something comes out and people start mudslinging and backbiting, it should be, but what about the children? When I see all these big platforms coming towards us, we're not taking interviews right now. We've even gotten interviews for primetime TV, and I've decided we just gonna wait a second. because I see a lot of people trying to trap survivors. I see people running and trying to jump on survivors just for the Diddy issue. That's not the only issue. We had someone come at me and wanting and asking, didn't even ask about our safety, didn't even ask for a proof of identification. They just wanted to fly us out to Texas and put us on a TV set. No, thank you. Why? Because that TV set was linked to Oprah. No, thank you. We are stopping for a second because we're like, hold on. I've put out a lot of evidence. There's some people who are like, name names, I've done that. Post the evidence, I've done that. Post receipts, I've done that. I'm actually about to repost some receipts that have already been posted, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to be like, she posted that? Yeah, forever ago. And the man that you're going to see that is naked has a lot of ties to the police, the news media, real estate agents, a lot of high authority, even though he sits on the bottom to middle of the food chain. So we're not talking about the elite again, but the man that slipped, and that I have a picture of him with a lot of his personal information hanging out, there's nothing I can do with that. People are, hey, uncover it. Uncover it for what? Because the second we said his name a few years ago, we got hail. And a lot of people are like, well, just put that out there for what? For people to reshare things like they did Cassie? For people to reshare it and just say, well, I believe it, I don't believe it, I'm feeling a certain way. There's only so much that me and my mom can do. There's only so much, as y'all can see. But there's a lot that other people can do that sit in really high places. There's a lot of people that are truth-telling. They won't even post evidence. We've posted receipts beyond receipts. We've been pressed for information, and we've put it out there. Not only that have we been vulnerable, it doesn't take much to see real PTSD, right? So we've been very, very, very vulnerable. We've put out so much information. You guys have seen things happen in real time. We put out the evidence, and it holds weight. There's been some people, I'm gonna sue you. Okay. Okay. Right? We put out a lot of information. I'm gonna recirculate some information a little bit, but before we do, I just want to give y'all a heads up. Seeing the next arrest? There's a number 3. It's coming. And we're in the way. Big time. MK Ultra is not a joke. You guys are understanding the heaviness and the weight and the reality of sex trafficking. You're not understanding yet, and I pray that you do, that sex trafficking ties hand in hand with MK Ultra and satanic ritual abuse. Some of you guys have seen Satan in your face and still can't understand and fathom that he's in the mix of this. You have people pretending to be Satan. You have people creating sets to be Satan and with your celebrities and stuff. But everyday people, what some people are not understanding is basic programming. There's basic programming in the military. There's basic programming coming from narcissists. If you've ever had a narcissist in your life, you know that there's some things that you will not be able to push or budge with that narcissist because they could get their way, right? No matter what you do, no matter what you say, it will always be your fault. They will never take responsibility. They will never take accountability. Their ego is too big to ever admit their wrongs. They take that shit to the grave. Okay? Survivors, real ones, I'm talking to you. These next few weeks, they gunning for the nation. These next few weeks, there is an auction for a lot of survivors that are speaking out. If you are speaking out, this is the time. Do not stop. Go full force. This is the time. If you have connections and you see connections for people who are bigger than what you see from these survivors that are coming out, the real victims, we don't have that much pull. But there's people who sit in places that used to be in the music industry. Do you see any of their evidence? There's people who sit in this place that are generals, that are attorneys, that are big names, and it's possible for them to make a move and to push something forward, but they won't do it unless it has some type of benefit for them. You know who I'm talking about. And if you don't, pay attention. What is their job? How long have they been on the internet? Are they pointing you back towards the children? Or are they just talking shit and trying to make money? What exactly are they doing for this fight besides doing something in a selfish way? Ask. Pay close attention. That's how you'll know who's really in this fight. We have been bare in so many ways. There's only so much we can do. But this is the hill that we die on, and we will take our dying breath in this fight. We don't care. We really don't give a damn. We do not care. Now some people are like, hey, the man that you're about to post and uncover his face, can't do that. I've already told you his name several times. And every time I said his name, we had hell to deal with, because he has who in his back pocket? The police, the media, your news. I had to make videos with this man in Simi Valley, California. Several times. This man is now 55 years old. I'll be 30. I am 30. I'll be 31 in February. Okay, so you do the math. When this happened, I was 15. So this is 15 years ago. Now the question is, you guys see all this stuff with the cases and everything. When is anybody going to continuously talk about the children? Now we've uncovered that a 13-year-old was on this case, a 9-year-old was on this case, and now you've seen that even couples were watching. How many times have I told y'all that some people in orders like that, they will let somebody do something and then they will watch it. And if they didn't touch you, then they can say, I didn't do anything because I just watched it. So therefore, I didn't do anything. You are just as guilty. There are people in orders, like in the Playboy, in tunnels, in many other situations, they've tied dildos and put dildos on the ends of broomsticks and raped people with them because they didn't physically enter someone with their own dick or with their own anything, with their hands or whatever. They can say, I didn't do anything because I raped them with a stick. Nobody's talking about the stick. So therefore, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. That's how people are getting away with this shit. Why isn't anybody demanding the names of the celebrities? Why aren't the attorneys, why are you protecting people who didn't dare protect the child? So now all of a sudden we give a damn about protecting them? It's not just the celebrities. My CPS reports go back to when I was 3 months old. My surrogate was selling tapes out of the closet, and law enforcement knew, and it is documented in paperwork. Didn't think I'd had that, did you? Yeah, I got it. Ask me how many kids she had. Ask me how many times police was called. Ask me how many times Child Protective Services was called. Ask me how many times a report was made and said, hey, there is screaming coming from that way. Hey, there is somebody who had a tape or something and they hid it. Law enforcement was in her back pocket as well. It's in the documents. But see, there's a way that works with Child Protective Services. One thing is they will not take kids who need to be taken. The other side of that is if they have a case, because family court is built off of money. The only way family court can continue to go through is if there is a problem in the family. That's the only reason why they would need court. So sometimes if there's issues and they know that there's issues in the home, they will not take that kid out because that's a paycheck later for them. So CPS was called numerous times and they tried to do well, she has an immaculate house. Oh, well, we can't put our finger on it. Why? Because she covers it up and she has a lot of people to cover it up. That was in her back pocket. I'm still here. Where was anybody when I was missing? Is anybody going to ask that? Why would a woman that was put in a criminally insane hospital have children? And then when Child Protective Services was called, and when the police were called, nothing happened. And you wonder why the children were running. Think about it. There is a lot of shit going on. And we not just fighting for one thing, we fighting for the nation. There is an auction going on, survivors, for codes. MK Ultra is like somebody having a remote to your brain. So I'm telling you right now, there is a big ass auction going through Halloween until after election. They are planning to flip people's codes to the point that they go silent. They are planning to flip a switch so that survivors start backing up. Because if you're scared of a female, or if you're scared of a male, or if you're scared of a certain thing, then you're going to shut up. No, not for me. So I pray not for you. I'm talking to you. Take that and do what you will, but please keep going. I'm not trying to jump on the bandwagon with anybody. I'm not endorsing anything. I'm not trying to team up with anybody because, see, a lot of people, and you're going to see right now when we say, hey, we're going to back up, we're going to throw it in 6 because it's not good for us right now, then they want to start talking shit, mudslinging, and backbiting because we don't want to do an interview with them. You're going to see that a lot right now. And the main thing is we don't want to talk to them. There's a reason. You're going to see it. We're not going to put their names out there. We're not going to tell you why. You'll see. You always do. And then y'all be like, oh, yeah, you'll see. There's a reason why we throw it in 6. There's a reason why we're not taking any interviews right now. If we do take a mic from somebody, it's going to be because we really looked into it for a second. We may be wrong, but we really looked into it for a second.
Yeah, Allie's been set up so many times. She's been burned so many times. We've had issues so many times. A lot of y'all have it in your head that Hollywood is corrupt and evil and they're involved in trafficking. But I think for a lot of people, when you see your TV news people or your talk show hosts, you kind of separate those. You think that they're different. You think the news that you watch on TV is different than the corrupt Hollywood and the music industry that's getting dragged right now for sex trafficking. No, they are all the same. They all fall under the banner of sex trafficking and corruption. Every news channel, if you is anything you watch on TV, I can guarantee you is going to be corrupt to some level.
Every news channel has a script. Y'all know that, right? Put them side by side. You'll see. A lot of the news channels have a script, and they're told what they can and cannot talk about. Do y'all remember a few years ago when a lot of those news reporters were coming out and saying, like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. They're silencing me. We're not allowed to report on certain things, and they had to step down from the channel in order to talk. The news channels are all scripted. They have somebody that sits at the top of that food chain too. And if somebody at the top of that food chain says, do not report on Ghislaine Maxwell, do not report on Diddy, you won't hear about it on the news. A lot of people are waiting. Like, I'm not going to believe it until the news says it. You're going to be waiting for a while.
Well, and a lot of them are used to lure survivors in. They'll give them a microphone, and then they'll set them up. They'll make them look crazy. They'll trigger their MK Ultra codes. Any number of things that will happen. I'm of the mindset, we've already been through too much. I'm of the mindset, why do we need a middleman? We're talking to y'all right here. If you're hearing Allie right now talk to you, there's no need for a middleman. If y'all have questions, I'm very patient with everybody. It might take me a minute, but send questions through. I'll answer them. We don't need a middleman. Especially Hollywood. Or anything to do with Hollywood.
A lot of people want to be a middleman right now because it validates their platform. There is nobody that wants to be the middleman because it's the right thing to do. And there is, and let me say that again, there are some people who want to be that middleman, but they don't really have any pull. I'm talking about the people that have pull. Attorneys like Lynn Wood has pull. People that sit in very high places have pull. They're the ones who are hanging on to information that you need. And if it came from somebody like me, or if it came from somebody who's just sitting on their platform, it's not going to hit as hard. They have pull because of who they are and where they sit. But there's a chain of command. There's somebody who sits higher than that. And if they tell them no, like a puppet, they move. No. It's a no. There's a lot going on. There's a third arrest coming. And I don't know who is sitting on some arrests right now. I really wish they would just hurry up and let it go, because a lot of us are sitting here like, let's do this shit.
If we also have no intention of having an attorney, we have no intention to sue anybody. We don't want any corrupt, dirty money that came from raping children. But say, for instance, we did get an attorney. What do you think the first thing they'd tell Allie to do? Wouldn't they tell her to be quiet and don't talk anymore, get offline, don't say another thing? That's their job, to do that. So essentially they would be silencing her. We're not doing that. It's not worth any amount of money.
I don't want anybody's blood money. The only money that I would take from was Child Protective Services. You can hand me and cut me that check. I'll take it. Because I took care of myself while they collected money for me, while they knew about my pain, while they helped it, while they enabled it, and while they let it happen. I will take that check gladly. Everybody else is blood money.
The same goes for witness protection. If you needed to be in witness protection, if you were going to tell on somebody and you felt like you needed to be in witness protection, how do you get into witness protection? Who do you call? FBI? The FBI is corrupt as shit. How many people would have to be involved? If you go and sign up and say, you know what, put me in witness protection and I'll tell on so-and-so. How many people do you think you're going to be involved with to get you a safe place to go, your name change, whatever it is that we think that they do? Do you know how many people you'd have to be involved with? You're going to hit corruption at some level. Witness protection is not really a thing or an option. The more people you start bringing into the circle, when you telling on big names and stuff like this, the more problem you have. I guarantee it. So survivors, please be careful what you do. Be careful who you trust.
And some of you are probably watching this video like, okay, what the hell do I do? We don't know.
We don't know.
We are trying everything. Do you not see that?
We're doing the best we can every single day.
The very best that we can, while drowning in PTSD, skin crawling, shaking out of nightmares and night terrors, getting up and not even realizing where we are anymore because the triggers and smells and everything is way too much. Pulling out of that, trying to go forward, then getting knocked down again. Trust me, we are trying everything. All right. So when you're like, what do I don't know. I do not have the answer. Okay, I am struggling myself. For those of you who are like, well, let's just team this survivor up with this survivor. If they are struggling to tell you the truth, what do you think is going to, how do you think we're going to help each other? There's somebody who was like, they're speaking, so if they speak to Allie, then everything's going to, no, that's entertainment purposes.
That makes a bigger problem
that's entertainment.
For both people.
If you really think about it, that's entertainment for you. It does not help the survivors. That does not help me, and it does not help them. It intermingles the demons that we both have, that we both are fighting. Okay, just because we're speaking on the same topic of crimes against humanity, don't mean we have the same story.
Or the same enemies.
Okay, so those who are like, let's just team that one up with that one, and oh my gosh, everything's gonna turn out fine. No, it's not. No, it is not. That's TV mentality. Those survivors that are teaming up to do TV shows on a platform, what is that doing? Because are they directing you back to the children? Did they give you evidence to go off of? Are they giving you something that you actually honestly can hold and holds weight to the truth? No, they just giving you entertainment. That's what that is. A lot of people want us to team up with somebody else for entertainment. Because if you actually understood what we're talking about, that's not going to help. If both of us are living in our car, what do you think is going to happen when both of us team up? All of us going to be living in our car. Two wrongs don't make a right. This is about the children.
Things really don't look the way you think they do. Like 20 years ago, I was saying all the same things everybody says. Go to witness protection, get an attorney and sue, team up with other survivors.
Call the police.
Call the police. Because those are all the things that I believed in the world that I was living in at that time. When I got Allie, my whole world changed. Things don't work like that. That is not a reality at all. I don't know where we got all that information of we'll just go into witness protection and everything will be fine until it doesn't work like that.
When have you ever heard anybody come out of witness protection and say that they were protected? Do you know of anybody that the government has protected? Is the government protecting you at the moment?
Why don't you ask North Carolina how protected they are?
Come on now. Witness protection is a government-based agency.
And who is trafficking your children? The government.
This is a web. This is a very thick web. Tangled because a lot of people just put their head down.
What you're going to find, though, when they keep bringing out these arrests, they overlap each other. They layer together. They connect in a way that there's no mistaking. It's not a coincidence. Everything, when you pull one string and arrest one person, you're going to get like 10 other ones that are connected and then 10 other ones connected to that. I don't even know how to explain it to you, but they all overlap and connect together. There'll be no mistaking who's involved because they all connect together.
You know what helps them though? Remember I told you one time, I'm a teacher. I was an after-school tutor as well. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for a fight in middle school or high school to calm down. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for them to stop hyping up the person who won. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for people to stop bullying who lost. It's the same gist for the internet.
We done? Well,
it's the same gist for the internet. So, focus on the children, please. Nobody takes you back to the children. It's easy to get distracted in what people are talking about. It's easy to get distracted in what people are fighting about, but we don't go back to the children.
No, anybody that understands the problem, it's not about adults being trafficked. It's about the children. Anybody that's not speaking on the children 24/7, they're not grasping what the real issue is. And yes, there were thousands and thousands of children at these parties.
But there were also thousands of celebrities. There was also thousands of buyers. There was an equal amount of buyers for an equal amount of children. So Diddy is not the only one.
And the next thing, once you've grasped that the children, and we need to be focused on the children, if somebody's not telling you about MK Ultra and what that looks like and how that runs, and how they are still auctioning codes for children, they don't understand the big problem. People got to be talking about the MK Ultra. That's the worst, most evil thing you can do to another human.
We gotta go. But by the way, there's some people who are saying they know me. There were some Johns who were popping up on TikTok saying they know me. There's a lot of people. Where's their proof? Don't press me for proof. Where's their proof? If you are a dancer, a dance mom, a dance dad, and you're seeing my stuff now, speak your mind, do what you want to do. However, jumping in this fight can cause a lot of hell for your family. So I'm going to tell you right now, as Miss Allie, as Miss Justice, please back up for a second, because this is not the time. This is not the time. Please be safe. Please be smart. And kiddos, if you're watching my stuff, be careful. All of my videos are not family friendly. And this is not the time to be throwing my name in comments because you dance with me. It's really not. It's not that type of video. Okay? Insurance holders on standby. Tomorrow we're going to be posting a video, and I think we already gonna start getting shit for it. So tomorrow we're going to be posting a video. Thank you for sharing that. It's some drops that have already been put out, but I know some people haven't seen it. There's just a lot coming, so I don't know. There's something that we gotta move. So thanks. I gotta go. Bye, y'all. Shit.